Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. Assalamu alaikum. It's okay, I can talk loud enough. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. First, we seek refuge with Allah from Satan, the avowed enemy. We begin in the name of Allah, the merciful benefactor, merciful redeemer, the especially merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord and sustainer of all worlds, all systems of knowledge, and all things that exist. Indeed, we give praise to Allah, whom we seek His aid and forgiveness for our wrongdoings, our nafs. He whom Allah guides, there is none that can lead him astray. And he whom Allah leads astray, there is none that can guide him. I bear witness that there is none worthy of worship but Allah, the one God who has no partners. And I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his prophet, servant, and messenger. We are still feeling the remnants of Ramadan, and our disciplines still kind of remain a little bit. You know, you get up early, you make your salah, you get your suhoor in. I still do it. It's like it just continues on. And I think that's just part of what we learn as a favor from Allah to continue to practice, to not let that go. I mean, you don't have to not eat during the day or drink. I'm not saying that, because fasting is a prescribed time for us. But that discipline of early rise and salat and suhoor, rest a little bit, or go on your daily job, do what you have to do, but don't be a glutton. And you can see how that fits when you're around other people who didn't experience these last 30 days that we experienced. So I definitely am still feeling the remnants of that, and I'm going to accept those blessings and keep on. But now, I could add intensive exercise to it. I know some brothers are still doing their light workouts. Alhamdulillah, that's a beautiful thing. But it helps us to maintain what we have learned, because all of us have learned something. We've learned something about ourselves. We learned something about Allah. We learned something about our environment. That's what Ramadan is for. And the thing is that if you have captured that consciousness, you can't let it go. This is when Allah said, you may learn it, you may learn it, you may learn it, or you might unlearn it. You know, after the 30 days, you just might unlearn it. You know, you say, hey, man, that time is over. I'm just going to do what I've been doing. But that's not the purpose of it. It's to hang on to what you have learned. Now, by us entering into this Ramadan, it is you are engulfed in a covenant with Allah. He has prescribed that time for us, just like we took our oath, Ashhadu wa la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadur Rasulullah. We took an oath. That's what we believe. Then we have to put the practice in. Salat, you have to put zakat, you have to do all those things to prove that you are a part. This is what Allah, these are the conditions that Allah put upon us. So this is a covenant. This is something that we have accepted in this way of life. And we prove it by making our salat. We prove it by fasting. And fasting is one of the most solid pillars. You know, because all those other things you can just say. But fasting, why would you do that? Why would you not eat? And people around you know, they count the days too. He ain't gonna make no 30, she ain't gonna make 30 days. They counting the days with you. They making sure you don't sneak off in the kitchen and look and try to get a sip of water. Yeah, they're watching you. Because they know that if you adhere to this principle, you have engulfed yourself. You have accepted the covenant of Allah. You have put yourself in there. They know it. And when somebody makes that sacrifice when everybody else that don't believe don't have to do it, they want to know, what would make a person do that? And we simply say, Allah ordered us. He prescribed us to do it. He said, this is what you need for that body. Deprive yourself a little bit. Now you get to see how your environment works. So we have learned something about ourselves. And I believe that Ramadan, or the fasting part of our faith, is one of the strongest and most committed standards of our faith. Because when you do it, you're in there. Now we must not unlearn what we've learned. So Allah tells us in the Quran, He tells us to not trade our faith for disbelief. And that's part of unwinding what you've already learned. So He don't want us to give away that for unbelief, or trade to cover up what we've learned, or try to hide and be deceptive about what we believe in. No, learn and teach, expand, invite, take care of your environment. Keep your faith. Don't turn your faith in. This is where you know you've achieved that consciousness from Allah. So we can't unwind it. So Allah commands us to be just. He commands us to be good to each other. He commands us to give to our families. And He forbids us of shameful deeds. He forbids us from being shameful. And then He said, don't be unjust and don't oppress each other. Don't get to the point where you are rebellious. See, this is not only just a riff for those who don't believe like this. This is about us. This is about those who are listening to this. Those who are present right now, believe in this Quran, believe in Allah and the Prophet. They understand this book. They know this book. They read this book. And Allah is putting down an oath. He's putting down a covenant. Do not be unjust to each other. Do not oppress each other. Do not be mean to each other. He's saying be good to each other. Be kind. Protect each other. Give each other good advice. That's what He's telling us to do. Now, this part of the covenant, He's giving it to us to hopefully that we can see it as a warning. Hopefully that we can take that instruction, apply it, apply it, and live by it. Because he's got something for you. He's forming something. He's telling us and he's giving us a command. This is a command. The command is justice. The command is to be good. And the command is to give to those who you love, your family and people you love. Give to them. And to not do shameful things. Now, we live in a shameless world. When we go out there, people let all their secrets out in public. They don't care. They dress any kind of way. They do things all kinds of ways. They don't care who knows. When you know what a shameful deed is if your mother walked up and you would be embarrassed. Or your boss or your child, something that you're doing. So we're not to be that way. And Allah is commanding us to be good. He's commanding us to be just. He's commanding us to give to our people, the people we love. And the reason why is that something is forming. Because with this covenant, Allah wants you to fulfill the covenant that He has put down. And when you have entered into it and you agree with it, follow through with it. Now, it doesn't mean that all of us will agree. It doesn't mean that. A disagreement is not a reason to fight and split. It's fine to disagree. That's what starts the discussion. It's okay to disagree. We are a very diverse community and we got all different kind of backgrounds and different experiences, but Allah don't want a disagreement to be a fight. So Allah commands us when we enter into this covenant, we are not to break it. We are to stay together. And after you have confirmed it, indeed we have made Allah a surety. When this happens, we enter into these covenants to be good to each other, to be just, and to give each other good advice, protect each other from their wrongs. Allah is offering Himself to be the surety for our community. He is offering protection. He is offering the love, the increase in knowledge, all of those things that we think we have, which in our own conversations we know we're way behind. We know we're way behind. But some of us think we got it. Some of us do. But Allah is saying, as a community, this is what I want you to do. I want you to be good to each other. That's the first thing. And be just. And He will make sure that you are a surety to this community. And now that we have completed the fasting, if you are still in that same state to be a mean person and oppressive, then you're trying to unlearn you're trying to unlearn it. You got it, but now you have to apply what you have got over the last 30 days. So in the instruction, Allah is really trying to form us into a tightly knit group. He's trying to get us to come together, put away those differences and come together. He wants us to come together. And that He He will make us conscious of our adherence to the covenant that we have entered into, and we should fulfill it. And in that oath, in that covenant, we should not break it. Now, Allah continues to say, and He gives us an analogy. He gives us something to look to. Because those that are listening to this lecture, it doesn't mean you. It doesn't mean a specific group. It just means like a woman. And He's talking about a woman who spins yarn. And when that woman spins that yarn, she tightly brings that yarn together because she's forming something. And when she get it into a tightly knitted group, tightly knitted, don't be like the one who would just unravel it. Don't undo what you have already done. So we have made progress these last 30 days. So don't be like the one who untwisted strands of yarn that she has spun. After it all becomes strong. After we become strong, we don't separate because of a disagreement. We come together And it's fine to have a disagreement, but no reason to separate from each other. Some people come into these oaths, they come in these oaths because they want to control. They want to be deceptive. And be sure that Allah knows what we are doing, every individual in here. I never really care about the numbers. I don't really care about how many people are here. I don't necessarily care about that. I would like to see more. But part of that can be damaging to my character. So I let Allah deal with that. He bring the right people here when the right people need to be here. The right people here are supposed to be here. Now, those that are here all the time, we know what we need to do. And we know we have differences, but we just have to put them aside because Allah has commanded us to do good and to be good and to be kind and give good advice. He has commanded us to do that. And when someone else come in, they have to do the same thing because they're all in that tightly knitted yarn. They all in there in the same group. And when Allah see that you are there, when he's offering all of what we think we already have, there's much more. If we just stick to our covenant, if we just stick to what Allah's oath is, our oath is to Allah. So he's actually saying to us, if you do this, it will change who you are as a people, and it changes actually the responsibility of what Allah is to us. Now we know that Allah sustains us. He give us all these great, we can't even count the blessings that Allah has sent us. But this is special because he's asking us to tie ourselves to a covenant with him. He's asking us to do it. Now this is change. Caring for one another is change. Now we don't have to individually feel like we're in control of ourselves. We have to be part of a community. You can't be a loner thinking you got it all, and you don't. You have to be part of it. And you might go around until you find something that you can fit into, but you have to be part of it. Because every little mind, every thought in here, every breath in here is important. Every idea is important. And all of that has to be discussed. All that has to be put together so that the community can come together tightly. And we know that it is a major challenge when human beings with different backgrounds, different nationalities, and different problems and abuses and all these different things that happen in our lives, we know that they can be problematic when we're trying to come together. We know that. But if Allah so will, he could have made us all together. Well, what fun would that have been? It would have been boring. We'd all been wearing the same clothes, drive the same cars, do the same thing, like the same foods. So we have to look at our diversity as a blessing. That today I can eat this. Today I can listen to this kind of music. Today I can wear this. And I can be diverse. And who colors better than Allah? I think that we shoot really short when it comes to the blessings of Allah. And that we have to start thinking just a little bit bigger. We've passed through this Ramadan and the 30 days are gone. You have something. Taqwa don't supposed to make you shake like this. And you go, okay, I got it. No, you got it. It's there. Hang on to it. He taught you something. He taught you something these last 30 days. Hang on to it. All those things when you say, man, I can't do that. And you got that in your mind. Don't go back to it when it's over. Don't go back to it because you know it's wrong. It's not good for you. Pray to Allah to help you to continue that discipline because He gave you a 30-day jump. He gave you 30 days. Follow this, and I'll help you the rest of the way. So let's not unwind. Let's not take it all apart. We have to come together. We have to talk about our issues, our differences, our beliefs, and what we think is this and what we think is that, and that's fine. But it shouldn't cause a problem, a breakage in the community. It should not cause that. So these past 30 days have been a blessing to us. I feel it. I hope you feel it, but I feel it. And I pray that Allah has given us what we want, given us what we need. But don't be deceptive in your oath because Allah is the knower of all things. I pray that something I said is good and helps us to be better Muslims, to be better people. So now that we need to do is that if we know that we need to come together, we have to find something practical to help us with the outside. And maybe I'll discuss that in the second part because we have to have something practical. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. Astaghfirullah. Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahil azim. We have to find something practical. And this is something I tried and I thought I don't know how well it fared, but we know that meeting strangers, speaking in public is probably one of the hardest things to do. So I tried this thing for about 5 days is what I did. And what I would do is if I'm in Walmart or whatever and I see someone coming toward me, I would say, "Excuse me, sir. I want to show you the most powerful thing in the world." And he go, "What is it?" I say, "How you doing? My name is Eric," so just have a small conversation. "What's your name?" Because most of the time we don't do that. But it opens up conversation. It opens up a lightheartedness because we know how we look at each other when we're walking down the street. We know that mystery of what he's up to, what's going on, that cut in the eye, instead of just greeting the person. Maybe we should give it a try. Maybe it should be something that we, as a committee, just start like handshaking committee. Just go around greeting people. Because they want to know. They see the sisters dressed up. They don't say nothing. They're looking. They're looking like, why is she wearing it? It's so hot outside. I don't know. You don't think they're doing that? Of course they're doing that. The sister just come up there, "How you doing?" "Yeah, what's your name?" "Yeah." And have a conversation. Have we ever tried it? This makes it inviting for them to come out, to say, "Oh, these people are wonderful." It's just a practical thing. Something that we can do that's small. Maybe it will change some things. We don't know. If you think it's a good idea, come up with something. Come up with something, because we know that when we walk down the street and I see young bucks that hanging together, oh boy, that thing hit you. You don't know. But for some reason, I just had this thing. "What's happening, young bloods? What's happening?" And they go, "Oh, nothing, sir. Nothing. It's all good." But you have to do that because you are an example. They're looking for one. Sisters, y'all are examples. They're looking for one. They don't know what shame is if you don't show them. Brothers, they won't know what shame is if you don't show them. And we have to be that buffer. We have to say, hey, look, you can do this. You can go this way. And you don't have to talk religion to them. Just be friends. Just having a conversation. So may Allah continue to bless our community, continue to bless us, increase us in knowledge, continue us to grow. I pray that something I said today is helpful and continue us on the path that is good and that's right. Rabbana taqabbalah minna innaka anta samiul alim. Rabbana akfir alayna sabrawata wa fa'ana muslimin. Rabbana rabbika rabbil isasi amma yasifun. Wa salam alal mursalin. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Comments.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salat, ala salat, kamatu salat, Allahu Akbar, la ilaha illallah.